Pay to win has been an ever-growing problem, with some claiming that Diablo Immortal costs $110,000 to win. It got us thinking about what makes something pay to win. Hello and welcome to Alternate Image Gaming. This is Tarkov Talks, a show where we talk mostly about gaming while I'm playing Tarkov in the background. Think of it like a podcast with a chance of murder. Today, I'm a little bit sick, so excuse the voice if it sounds kind of off. Also, we're talking with TheSix about pay to win. What's up, Six?
How you guys doing? I hate pay to win. I despise it. And
I think
to me, there's
everybody
a
who
few
doesn't pay
different forms
does.
of it. Yeah, anyone who doesn't have the money to pay to win normally hates pay to win. But I think there's like we've talked about before, there's probably 3 or 4 different versions of pay to win. Like my biggest one is pay for power, when you can actually just buy gear or stats or like mobile games where you can buy specific characters that are just powerful. Like that's my biggest pay to win thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that's the most frustrating for pretty much anybody at that point.
Yeah, like there's a few others like we've talked about, but that one is the one that like I won't touch games that do that. If I remember right, there's an Asian one, they just revamped it and made it an Unreal 5. It's like Blade and Soul, I think it is, where you can just straight up buy the best in slot gear. Or you used to be able to. I don't know if you still can. Yeah, like it's a really actually fun game, really fun mechanics as far as combat, but that killed it for me. Like that just killed any drive to play that game.
I could see that. Like
It's especially bad. Oops, sorry, go ahead.
No, I could just see, like, if it feels like playing the game doesn't really matter, it being pretty hard to care.
Yeah, and it's especially bad when games like that, like you can buy, Sword of 1,000 Deaths, but you could never earn Sword of 1,000 Deaths in game. That's that's bad.
And I would say that probably goes along with where most people draw the line, and almost everybody will agree that that's pay to win at that point. But
yeah, I think there's a few others that people like me and you, we have our differences on what we consider pay to win or what we care about as far as pay to win goes.
Yeah, 'cause that's a big part. Is like, what do people care about?
Yeah, so like the one I personally don't care about all that much is like pay for cosmetics. As long as said cosmetics don't give you like bonus stats or anything, and it's just looks, like I don't really pay for that one. But to me, and to some people, that is fairly pay to win because they want to look cool.
Yeah.
And if you can't look cool, then other than buying a skin, that's kind of no fun for them.
Yeah. So if for somebody their end game, their main thing they want to accomplish is like looking awesome, and I could definitely understand how being able to buy the most awesome looks is going to be problematic.
Yeah, like me, I play World of Warcraft. One of my favorite things to do in WoW, other than keys and raiding and stuff, is make cool transmogs. Go collect all the transmogs and try and make a really cool one. And if I couldn't do that, and the only way to do that was paying real life money, I probably wouldn't enjoy that game too much. Now, if it's both, you can collect it and buy some. It's not as big of a deal to me, but if there's only one or the other, that's also a big loss for me.
Now that very much makes sense, and I would generally agree.
One that it leads into another topic we normally talk about with the pay to win as a pay for convenience is Black Desert. Black Desert it's a lot of skins. Most don't look great, or not. The skins look great, but you don't look great without buying their skins. But then their skins also give you a little bit of convenience. And a game like Blade and Soul, where experience and higher levels means everything, a little bit of extra experience is huge for that game, where there's no level cap. You can grind forever in all eternity, and the higher level you are, the bigger gap between other people. Like that skin and that convenience that goes with that is insane.
Well, so for me, that kind of goes past the point of being what I would consider actually convenience at that point. So
it's almost buying power at that point.
So this might be a good time for us to kind of break down the four main categories that we find that there is with pay to win, which is pay for convenience, pay for cosmetics, pay for advantage, and of course pay for power. Obviously, cosmetics is pretty easy. When it's cosmetic that does nothing other than looks, then that's
like what is it, League of Legends. They probably have the least pay to win, in my opinion, of any game out there. Their cosmetic system is great. You can earn it without money, but you can also just buy a cool skin or a cool champion, but you are also able to earn all the champions. I think League of Legends has done a great job with doing a pay system that doesn't change their game.
Yeah, I agree. So League of Legends would be a great pay for cosmetic game. Some people argue that there's a pay for convenience element because you can buy the champions directly.
True, and I can understand that one.
Yeah, I agree. I give them a little bit. That is some pay for convenience. I will not argue this paid for advantage because it takes maybe a couple hours of gameplay to earn enough of their currency to buy a champion. And
yeah, like I'm not a League of Legends fan. It's just not my style of game. I picked it up for probably about 3 hours trying to get back into it, and I bought 2 champions in 3 hours.
Yeah, so at that point
it's like not hard.
It's a little bit of convenience. If a new champion comes out, you don't got to spend your currency on it. But at this point, like, not only played a lot, I could buy 10 or 20 champions at will. And so if a new one came out, being able to buy them with what I've earned in game would not be difficult to do, and I would never have to spend money on it.
Yeah.
So then pay for convenience also tends to be really almost any game at this point. It's a lot of the buying level boosts in games with level caps. It's experience boosts in those kind of games.
The level 60 boost.
Yeah, and that's technically you gain power because your level goes up. Like the games like that, the level doesn't really matter. Like in the sense of you don't start playing until you're max level anyway. So
yeah, and most MMORPG style games, like the game doesn't start till max level. I think we had a discussion about it. Wow, if you started, like once you hit max level, you have something like a minimum of probably 20 hours before you can really start hitting in-game, unless you're getting funneled by friends.
Yeah, for sure. And so, and while some people are still upset about pay for convenience type items, it's generally less, I would say, triggering than...
Convenience is not as big of a deal. So like, what is that game? Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
Like, you can play that game completely free, and I recommend people do. It is a great game to pick up and play. It is completely free minus buying the box. But it has a, like, monthly subscription fee. I think it's like $15 a month.
Is it that much now? Yeah.
It's either 10 or 15. It's something. It's not awful, but it's, a normal subscription fee. But it makes it to where your bank and your backpack is, like, quadruple the size. And then your bank, you have a like unlimited sized materials bag.
That's huge.
And that's huge. And I think you get like a 10% experience bonus, which is not crazy since you can cap, but it's a little bit of a bonus, like a convenience bonus.
Yeah, definitely some convenience because, well, that depends on that game if it applies to the champion levels, which is sort of infinite.
I guess I don't even know what it's at now, but it was 720 when I played.
Yeah, I don't think it's truly infinite, but it's pretty close to infinite. That
with how long it takes at the higher end, yeah, it takes a few months to a year of like hard grinding to actually cap out if you haven't been playing.
Yeah, so having that might push into advantage territory. So let's talk about kind of what makes something pay for advantage then at this point. Like what do you think makes to you at least?
I'm trying to think of a game that had advantages. Actually, so Elion is actually a good game that I think has fairly big pay for advantage. So your store-bought mounts I think were like 10% faster than other mounts. That's a little bit of advantage, but not like crazy power. You could buy these little pets that give you stat boosts, which you could completely earn in-game, but you could buy them outright faster if you wanted to.
Yeah. And I would definitely say...
To me, that's where advantage goes.
that definitely fits pretty good in the advantage category for me as well, because you're buying quicker power, not direct
Yeah,
power
to me,
necessarily, but
advantage. Yeah, advantage to me is when it's like, well, I can earn all of this in game with not like years of grinding, but like some good work into the game. I can get everything you just got. But like, if you wanted to drop some money, you could get it faster.
yeah,
Like, kind of like WoW is actually another pay for advantage, in my opinion, with the new gold token that you can buy, or the Battle.net token's like $20, and it gives you, like right now, it's at almost 180k gold. And then there's a bunch of services of characters and other players that provide, free carries through Raid or Mythic Plus for gold. So it's kind of, you're paying real life money to get gold to pay for in-game services that I could go earn on my own, and I do earn on my own for the most part fairly easily. But they can get it faster with paying some money.
so that actually brings me to another point that isn't one of the 4 categories, but some will try to argue that it's not pay to win if you can't buy the thing directly, or it doesn't count. And I'm like, no, if you can turn money, even if it's indirectly, by buying the currency or whatever to get the thing you're trying to get, that still counts, guys. Like, that's...
Yeah, like, just because I have to go through one extra step to get it in-game by finding someone in-game that sells it, doesn't make it any less pay to win.
Well, or like almost every mobile game will let you buy gems or diamonds or something, and then you buy the pay-to-win stuff with that. It's like, you're still buying the power or the advantage.
Yeah. Like, I play Raid Shadow Legends, right? Like, and I would say that game is fairly pay to win. Or at least damn high pay for advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely
and you pay money for gems, energy, shards to pull to get really high monsters. Now, granted, there is still the RNG of what you pull. But, like, if you want to drop thousands of dollars, you can have an amazing account pretty quickly.
That is
or
true.
have amazing luck like I did.
So that kind of brings us to a pay for power, which is the thing that the most agree with is the worst aspect of pay to win.
Yes. In my opinion, pay for power is when you can buy in-game items that you can't earn in-game with money. And that is just, you're just straight up buying the best gear that you possibly can without ever having to do anything in the game that someone who plays the game can't earn as good.
Now, for me, I'll give it pay for power as long as you can buy power directly. It doesn't have to be you can only get it if you spend money. Although that makes it
even worse. And I guess I kind of agree with you. Yeah, if you can just straight up buy gear. So like in WoW, for example, we use that as a pay for advantage. I don't consider it pay for power because you still have to get the luck of the drops. Like, you can up your chances of getting the drops, but you still can't just guarantee go buy your best in slot trinket for money.
So I'll disagree again slightly there, because there are bind on equip items you can buy in every tier that could potentially be best in slot. Now, it isn't,
which is why there is some slight pay for power, but it's not a, like, you buy everything. Normally it's 2 pieces, maybe 3 of BOE gear per tier that you can buy that get overshadowed in a couple months normally. But yeah, I do agree there are some pay for power aspects in WoW, because you can just straight up buy BOE pieces with tokens.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like the most egregious example of pay for power, which I think is another thing people need to consider when they are discussing pay to win, is that it's not like there's degrees. It's not just a question of, does this let you buy some power? Because like WoW lets you buy some power, but it isn't.
Yeah. So like right now, I just went and looked. There are 2 BOE pieces, like 100% 2 from Raid pieces, 278 at the max item level that you can just straight up buy, and then there's crafted gear, but that's just part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So just straight up 2 pieces of gear. Now 2 pieces out of, what is it, 20 slots?
Something
18
like
slots?
that, yeah.
Like,
a good chunk.
Not crazy pay for power. Like I'd give it probably a half a star to a star out of 5 for pay for power, but it is at least there.
And that's a lot of people will start to look at that as just being full pay for power, and to me it's not. So you have to consider the degrees. Is the game you're looking at doing the thing? Is it doing the pay for cosmetic or convenience, advantage, power? And then is it doing it to a serious degree? Can you buy one thing and you got to go grind out the other 19 things? Or can you buy all the things? Because that matters too.
Kind of like Raid is a perfect example of you can buy gear. Like you have to get your characters, but you can buy straight up gear. But the gear is still randomized when you buy it. So it's not like you can just go buy direct badass gear, but you might get a few pieces out of it and then have to go grind the rest, or make it easier to go grind the rest.
Yeah, and that to me is something that must be considered when you're trying to call something pay to win.
Yeah, because there is steps.
Yeah, and it makes the discussion pretty hard when people don't consider one specific scale for it, and when usually a lot of feels get involved, and when somebody says it's pay to win, they mean it's more pay to win than I like.
Yeah, I think honestly with looking at other people talking about pay to win, which is why I loved the idea of this video, it's very controversial on what people actually consider pay to win and not pay to win.
Yeah, because people are definitely not on the same
No,
page.
And they will like fight to. This is for some reason a hill people will want to die on or choose to die on when arguing about pay to win. I've noticed. Like their scale is the only scale that matters, and everyone should agree to their scale.
Well, the worst part is from discussions I see on it, people don't often have a scale. People have this is the one thing that makes something pay to win to me, and if anything, this or more, then it is pay to win.
Well, kind of like Diablo, the new one that just came out. Like, I haven't delved too far into it. I played a couple hours, and then I've done a little bit of reading on pay to win, and it's like you get some material for your gems that you can like get pluses on your gems, and in order to you can pay like $100,000 and you are completely maxed out, best in slot of everything.
Yeah.
For $100,000, like
which
end
is
of story.
Which is crazy separately.
Right. Yeah. No one's spending I mean, maybe there are some people, but most people are not spending $100,000 on a mobile/video game. But the part that got me was, I think it was Bellular did like a breakdown of how long it would take to actually go and grind out that. And it was something like 10 plus years or something like that, I think you told me.
Yeah, 10 years in game time. Not even just like in real life time, but you'd have to be logged into the game for 10 years.
Yeah, so that's where it is dramatic. The fact that you can pay and get better, or have to play for 10 years of actual play time to even get close to the equivalent of paying. Now, if it was like 1 month of play time for the same price, that'd be one thing. It's not a big deal. If someone's got $100,000, they just want to flop down on Diablo Immortal because they don't want to play the month. Okay, sure, that's on you. But I can go do it in a month. Like, don't get me wrong, I still don't like the aspect of the pay to win, but that's a big difference than 10 years or $100,000.
Yeah, which is interesting because in that game it seems like you can buy power directly, you can buy advantage, you can buy the cosmetics, of course, or the main way to get the cosmetics is to buy them. You can kind of get everything from it, so it's pretty heavily in every part of the pay to win scales. But people are definitely more upset about it because it's what am I looking for? Because of the scope. Because of just how much it costs straight up. Here I am. We are wrapped up with the run, and I don't know. Do you have anything else you wanna plug before we close up?
The only thing I would say is if you guys are WoW players and you don't mind that like pay for advantage aspect, hit me up. I do sales and carries inside the game.
Yeah. So he is assisting the pay to win. That's what he's trying to
Yeah,
say.
no, if I can make money off of it, because I can pay for my game time. So
So
by all
through
means,
him,
hit me up in game.
you can
Yeah,
pay to win, but not RMT through him directly, but RMT through
yeah, pay for
Blizzard's
in-game
Cash
gold.
Shop for
Yeah.
sure. And then, as always, of course, all of Six's socials will be plugged down below. Below, we'll also have articles listed for some of these games we are talking about. There is a Is It Pay to Win guide for World of Warcraft and League of Legends, and also Raid Shadow Legends. So those will be linked below the video as well. That's pretty much all we got. This was possibly a longer video, so...
Oh, I'm going to say this one thing, just
Okay.
because you normally do it, but I'm going to take it this time. If you guys enjoy these videos, we definitely enjoy making them. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment if you guys got a different gaming topic you want us to talk about, or just want to engage with us. But I really appreciate a like, a comment, a follow. Any engagement is much appreciated.
It does help the algorithm for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that is it. So again, we are done. We are out. That is a loot that I should have paid more for. Apparently, we're gonna call that pay for convenience, I guess. And
Ooh, that's not that great of a run.
it's really not. And as always, have a good day, guys.